I try to walk around that. That's one. There's this friend of mine. If I say what her name starts with, everybody knows it's her. So I won't say. But she has been some level of peace for me because she's been helping me in ways that nobody can think of. It's not something that money can buy. It's not something that money can buy. Like I said, I have a couple of friends that their sarcasm level is like, if you know me, you think I'm a sarcastic person. I have people that are in front. Like I'm still crawling, I'm still learning. So every time she says she's coming to see me, I'm excited about her coming because I know that she relieves me a whole lot. A whole lot. A whole lot. Like when she's around, I'm always laughing. There's always something very stupid that she says. You know, she calls me, she's not calling me Madam Hafiz, she's calling me Mommy Sidel or she says Ruth. So every time she says she's coming to see me, I try as much as possible to make sure this one is coming to see me, she's not going anywhere. Or not tell her she's not going. I say, oh yeah, come, okay, no problem. Come when she come, you stay. If she intends on staying one night, you stay 2 nights. As much as possible, I drag her to stay as long as possible because it's therapeutic for me. I know it's selfish, but thinking about myself. So thinking about myself, I like her being around. So I force her to stay, even if she doesn't like staying in people's houses. But then yeah, she has her business to get to. So yeah, sometimes I just have to, let her go because she has her own thing to deal with. So I let her go. She's the one person that has paid so much attention to me even when she's around me because sometimes I'm doing something and I'm just lost. I think I am thinking in my head, I'm thinking, but I'm actually thinking out loud. I didn't realize I was doing that because until she started doing weird stuff. Like sometimes I'm just standing by the sink and then she comes and she says, excuse. At that point I realized that, oh, I've been lost in thoughts, but in my head, oh, she didn't get, she doesn't know. Or sometimes she just walks past me and she hits me. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe she thinks it's a joke. I'll just laugh and shrug it off. And then there was a day, I can't, what exactly happened that day? And she shouted my name, Madam Hafiz, why you they talk to yourself? And I'm like, no, I'm not talking to myself. She's like, my daddy don't talk say, me you no go get BP. I can never forget those words because do you know how I felt? I felt like someone who had a sister that she cared so much about and she didn't know how to help the sister and she would always just voice it out. So for your dad to know that, I know I'm sure I've never ever said this to her. For your dad to know about me and give such advice, that means you must have been so worried that you voiced out to your father. You don't understand. That's why I say it's love that money cannot buy. It's love that money cannot buy. You know, I can only imagine how you've explained the things to your father for him to actually just sit down and say, oh, she might have a BP. You try as much as possible for me to eat. You try as much as possible to make a lot of things easy in your way, according to you, in your little way, but you don't know it's not little. It's a huge one for me. It makes it makes it makes a whole lot of things easy. Yeah. And then the other day, the last time it happened, I was in the kitchen, I think. She was in the living room with another friend of mine. And me, I wasn't talking to myself. Oh, I was just having a conversation with the wind in my head. When I say the wind, the people I'm referring to. I was having a conversation. I was venting out what I would like to say to those that have decided I will not have peace. But for some weird reason, I can only imagine myself saying those things. I won't say it's not because I'm scared, but because I feel like my husband will not be in approval of me saying all those things. So because I cannot say it just for the love I have for him or for respect, I'll talk to myself all the time. And then she shouted my name. Mommy, sit there. Who you they talk to? I said, no, nobody. She said, but I hear you they talk now. I said, I they talk to myself. And I heard her mom. I don't know what it was they said. And when I came out of the kitchen, she said, I beg go. Me, you know, go get PPO. This way you go just they talk to yourself. And I just laughed. Just laughed. I went into the room. I sat down for a while. And I realized that there were times where I talk to myself until maybe my son taps me. And then I'll hear me talk. Like I'll hear my voice. Needed more people around me. I needed to go out more. And what I do is when I'm on my own, I sit in front of the mirror and actually talk. Maybe it's better, maybe it's better to actually say it out to nobody in particular, to myself in the mirror. But there's this, this burden that leaves my chest. There's this ease that I feel. I feel some sort of comfort. Yeah. I just feel like I've said it. For now, I feel good that I've said it, even if I've not said it to anybody in particular, even if I said it to myself in the mirror, but at least I voiced it out. So my chest is a lot less heavy, and my head doesn't bang much, and I'm not angry, you know, at the situation, and it's easier for me to just, turn the page for the day and move on to something else. Maybe move on to scrolling the internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, just or decide to play ball with Cyril or, just anything. At least that's how I feel after having that conversation in front of the mirror with myself. So, yeah, I don't think, I don't know, for other widows, I don't know. I think it would be better that you talk to people, talk to someone. Because the truth is, if you're not talking to someone, then you're talking to yourself. And if you're talking to yourself, it's madness. I don't think it's normal for you to be talking to yourself, So if you have somebody to talk to that person. If you don't have somebody to talk to yourself in front of the mirror. If you have a dog, talk to your dog. If you have a child, talk to your child. If it's the internet, whatever helps you, whatever is therapeutic, whatever works for you should be what you would do. Don't bottle up, you know. Don't bottle up. Whoever wants to listen, talk to the person. If talking helps you, talk. If talking doesn't help you, don't talk. But I don't think there's anybody that talking does not help. The more you talk about it, the easier it becomes. There's a bit of more acceptance. You kind of like start accepting it. When my husband first passed, it was so hard for me to say my husband died. Use the word dead was the hardest. I'd always say, oh, he passed. Because I was still in denial. I still want him to come back. Funny as it sounds, I still think of possibilities of just hearing that that thing that even buried was a clone, no, he's alive, you know, or say, oh, he just wanted to know if you really loved him, or he just wanted to see how people feel about him, or them to tell me, oh, the complication was so much that they had to take him somewhere, and then because they weren't sure of survival, they'd rather just, since they were, like those fantasies, dreams, imaginations. Oh my god, yeah. I remember stumbling on something on Instagram, yeah, where I saw a lady who talked about, oh, that she she got married and lost her husband just 2 years after marriage. I remember when I saw that thing on Instablog, I was like, this story is just like my story. And then I sent her a message, and she was willing to talk. She was already healing. She was willing to talk. She was so sorry for me. Man, you think the worst has happened to you. When you hear other people's story, you say, hey, God, thank you. God bless you. Thank you. May you so rest in peace. Let's move forward. God, run am. Now you say make it be the way it be. You are the one that has done it. You are the one that has brought us to this point. So we're in your hands. We are pencils in your hands. Use us draw with you want me words see. If you want the world to appreciate art with your hand, use also pencils. See you again next time.